Hey y'all, welcome back to Trendy DIY 29, back with another video. I wanted to give you guys a garden tour. There's a little bit going on, not too much, because I did start my garden this year about a month late, so I'm really paying for it. Like, I should have tomatoes by now, but I already know, like, and then the weather being cool some days and then cold some days, so I should have did better, but that's neither here nor there. I've made a few changes this year because you always want to try to change your plants up. They say to try to change rotate your plants around in your garden at least every 2 years. I've only had this garden like this for about a year, but I decided to move stuff around just to see, you know, the different locations, how the different locations in my garden works for different plants. So as you guys can see over here, I started some flowers from seed. These are nasturtiums. If you guys are avid gardeners, you already know why I planted these nasturtiums. For one, nasturtiums are edible, and for two, nasturtiums are beautiful. They repel insects, and also they sometimes can, I want to say they also make a really good like ground cover as well. So I like the fact that you can eat them. I haven't eaten them yet. I want to take a leaf and eat it now, but I'm like, you know, I'm gonna let them get big. But supposedly they taste like a wasabi, like a spicy wasabi. So I look forward to trying those because I love the fact that they have like 3 different things. They're there for beauty, they're there for food for me and my family, as well as they're there for to repel different insects or bugs. And as you guys can see over here, my thyme is doing wonderful. This all started from one little baby plant, like a tiny plant. It didn't take over this whole entire bin. This is the same thyme it overwintered. I've learned with thyme and rosemary here in Maryland Zone 7, they make it through the winter. They're basically perennials. And as you can see, the rosemary is intertwined with it, and then down here you can see that the thyme is starting to try to bush out and to take over some more space. I might add some more lavender or something, but usually it'll spread pretty much on its own. But if that space continues to be there, I might just put another plant or pop some seeds in right there. Right here, this is an experiment. I had grew a whole head of lettuce, and then it bolted and it tastes disgusting. So I ripped it out. I threw some more lettuce in it. I pushed the pot further back in the shade because this is the shadiest area of my garden because it's on my porch where the lettuce is somewhat shaded from the heat. Today is a nice cool breeze. So I'm hoping that I will be able to get some lettuce. But that is Butter Crunch lettuce right there. Down here, this is actually a rescue plant. If you guys can see, it's coming back slowly but surely, but this plant was a lavender that I brought last summer. It was completely overtaken by weeds over the winter time, so it was like completely smothered. It was nothing there but just a stick, and just completely filled. This container was filled with grass from, like, I guess the wind blowing it. So you see, like right here, you got to remember to remove these type of things. They will fight for nutrients and stuff and take it away from your plants. So as you guys can see, I popped it in here. I stripped all the dirt out, ripped all the plants, like it was literally covered in different plants. Ripped all the plants out, the roots, and then I put it in this pot, and it's actually trying to come back because it literally was just like one stick. No lie, it was a stick, and that was it. And I did some research, and they said lavender is really good with coming back, so I decided to see if it did, and it did. Coming back slowly but surely. I'm hoping that I can get a full container of lavender, but I'm not sure, you know, how long that's going to take. See, more grass growing in there. Okay, guys. Down here, I'm really proud of this. This is my mesclun blend. And you guys know these are harvested as like baby greens. As you can see, I left them out there a little too long. So I'm just going to harvest some of this because this is like cut and come again. So I'm just going to cut these lettuces so you guys can... It's hard to harvest and hold the camera at the same time, but I didn't want to ask my boyfriend to hold it because he's asleep. So, just going through here with my scissors. You want to try to cut it as close to the base as possible. This lettuce will come back. It will keep growing back, so no need to worry about it. And I'm just gonna move all my little greens, cut them out. You guys see, this is enough greens. Like when you're doing baby greens, the thing is, baby greens actually can become big greens, and that's what I want people to know. Just because the pack says baby greens does not mean they're baby greens. They basically mean that you can pick them small and eat them, but technically if you don't ever pick them, they're gonna get regular size. So this is like a mix of like romaine, you can see some red Russian kale. So I'm just gonna take this and put it into my little basket. I should have brought a bigger basket than this, but I figured, oh, I don't have that many things to really harvest. So just pick out my stuff. I'll put this in the salad spinner later. Has some spinach in here. You just want to make sure you get all your greens out that you cut. And I'm just going to cut this off because it's going to seed. So this lettuce may or may not taste good. And I also see in here, guys, some chamomile is actually growing inside this lettuce bin. And my chamomile is right up here. I didn't show you guys. I ripped out my chamomile. It was dying. It was doing really bad. Like how this is kind of falling over. Chamomile come back. I just sprinkled more seeds, ripped out the majority of the plant, left the root in there just to see if it would reroot itself. And that's all I have so far, and I did that about a week or two ago, so that's actually good progress. Chamomile seems like it grows slow, but eventually it will just be out here and you'll be like, when did that grow? So chamomile sneaks up on you because it starts off slow. So I just want to make sure that I'm cutting these top parts off, because I just want to make sure that I get using the scissors the wrong way. That's why it's not cutting. Okay. Who knew it was right and the wrong way to scissors? But just take that out. And I'll just cut all of these down, because now that it's warm, this will grow back. And that's it. Right here, I'll plant it. Some common thyme. I'm not sure if that's common thyme, like this little tiny one right here, or if it's just grass. So I'm just going to leave it there and let it get big to see what happens. These are garlic things that I planted. And I want to go walk you guys over here real quick. These are my little bush bean. These are dragon tongue beans. They're dying. It was so hot out here. They're dying. So I'm going to give them some water. Wake them back up. They'll be okay. So back over here. And this right here is my experiment garlic. Now the thing about this is, I started with 6 cloves. I just planted some garlic that I had in the house from the grocery store, and it started to like grow like green tops on the tops. I was like, oh my gosh, this garlic acts like it's about to root. It's like rooting itself. So this garlic wants to be planted. So I put the garlic cloves, tore them apart, stuck them in a circle around this pot in a circle, and literally, look, he wants garlic. It's funny. He doesn't even eat garlic, but he wants to mess with anything that I don't want him to mess with. But, yeah, so I put the little garlic cloves. I put 6 of them in here. Only 3 of them germinated. This literally has been in this pot for months. And they say usually when the tops die off, you're good. But I've seen these tops die off and then grow back and then die off and then grow back. So I may or may not have rotten garlic underneath here. I'm not sure. So we're going to dig this up now. There's no point to keep waiting. So let's dig this garlic up and see what's under here. It may be nothing. It may be rotted. It may be something. Let's figure it out. You always say you want to go in and loosen it up. Let's see. I'm trying to hold the camera, guys. I feel something down there. Let's see. Let's see what's under here. Guys, I got this. It smells like garlic strong. Look. And this is what I pulled out. Small garlic clove. I feel like maybe I was supposed to leave it in there longer. I really truly believe that from me watering my plants that's around it. I tried to keep this dry because you don't want your garlic to get too wet when it's almost time to harvest. So I put one clove in here and it literally looked like, I don't know if this is because it wasn't done, because look how small it is, but look at all those roots. And then look how dead this stem is. So I feel like that this was about all I was going to get. And I mainly think that it's because the plant food that I've been using in my garden since I'm starting my plants. Whenever you're starting your plants, you want to make sure that you're using something with a lot of nitrogen in the beginning, because the nitrogen is going to promote leaf growth, and your leaf growth is what helps your plants collect the sunlight in order to photosynthesize and to grow bigger. Once you get your plants a nice size and you get some healthy leaves on them, that is when you switch to a different type of fertilizer that has more phosphorus, because phosphorus is good for root development. And I did not do that. There was no phosphorus added to this. I did add some blood meal, but bone meal has a lot of phosphorus. Blood meal still has a nice amount of nitrogen. So I truly believe that because I did not use some type of phosphorus agent in here, which is good for root development, is the reason why I got such a small clove. Because look at how many roots that this has. So I'm gonna harvest this. Just put my little thing in there. I really need a bigger basket, and I'm just gonna go in and just get the rest of this out. There's no point to leave it in here. That's why I said I just threw these in instead of letting them go bad, just so I can get an idea of how garlic grows. This is really hard holding this camera, guys, because I'm trying to hold the camera and dig out the garlic. And the garlic is like, you seen all those roots on the bottom, so it's like really embedded in there. So let me see. Okay, I broke the top off. Don't pull on your garlic, guys. You don't need the top though. You're gonna cut the top off. I'm gonna cut the top off anyway. So I just need to dig down in here good. Like cicadas are trying to attack me while I'm out here. This is like, this garlic is in there good. Like, what in the world, garlic? Let's see. This one is even smaller. Look at that. That's even smaller. So this is definitely, I think that this garlic was ready to pull, because it has literally been in this container for months. Like, it's been in this container, I want to say, for like 3 months or 4 months. So this is definitely ready to pull. So what I feel like is that it definitely was not getting the right food that it needs in order to form a larger bulb. So I'm going to put that to the side. Then go back in on this side. You guys are probably thinking I destroyed my thyme on the other side. I didn't quite dig it up. So the thyme is still there. It's just covered in dirt. And I'm just going to leave it there. And believe me, plants that want to grow, they will grow still. And then here goes the other one. I hate the fact that it looks like it's so much, and then when you shake the stuff off, it's really nothing. It smells like straight garlic. Now, and if you want, when you're growing your garlic, you can actually cut the green part as it's growing and use that as like a light garlic seasoning for stuff. Like, so you kind of like how you use chives, but this would be like garlic chives, and you can use this in place of your garlic until your garlic grows. It just has a very milder taste, and that's the other bulb. So when we look at these, our 3 bulbs of garlic, you guys can see the first garlic was bigger. I would say they literally, I can see that they're forming the bulb, but I really feel like it was a nutrient problem. It wasn't getting what it needed. I was giving it stuff to grow leaves. So it was putting its energy into leaves, not into root development. I'm just going to sit these garlics up here, guys, because my little basket is so small. I do not know why I brought this little basket. I underestimated what I had. So we're going to move on. We dug that garlic up. I'm going to go over here, guys. Believe it or not, sugar snap peas are still growing. Usually my sugar snap peas last year, they died. They died as soon as it started to get warm. And the fact that these are still alive shows you that there's seriously global warming going on. So I'm going to plant them. Some of them got too big. Some of them look sicky a little bit. but they're okay. And I'm just going to go in and pinch my peas off. You really don't want to let them get this big. I should have picked these maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago, something like that. Because you don't want them too big, because then they're tough when you go to cook them. So, no, that's a really big one. Get that one off. Gosh. Now, you can use scissors, but I can't use scissors because I got to hold this camera. So I just got to be careful that I don't destroy. There go a bug. Knock him off. You got to be careful that you see them. Here goes another. Sometimes they hide. You see that one was hiding in the bottom. Got that. It's not that many on here. I did come out and eat a few. They like, because these are so good. You can eat them with nothing. You don't even really need anything. But as they get bigger, they're actually harder to pick off the plant. Here goes some little baby ones. I'm just going to take those too. The plant may or may not produce more. I do see, as you guys can see right here, I do see a flower developing right there. So, and you see the tendrils are reaching out for something, but there's nothing to reach out to. For some reason, I'm having a hard time with training them to climb this stake. I don't know why, but they don't want to climb this. They keep reaching out and holding on to each other, but even when I wrap them around, it just won't wrap around this. I don't know why they won't do it. Usually, you train them, they climb, and yeah, it works out perfectly. Yep, dropped one. Let me see if there's any more peas in here. Not really. I don't think it is, but you got to be careful. Really, really look. Because I swear, when it comes to certain plants like this, you'll think you got everything off, and then you come back and there's nothing there. And you'll be like, okay, what happened? So, put my peas in here. Not that many, but we have something. And then I'm going to, don't mind my little air conditioner unit I was using as a table. I'll show you guys what's going on over here. These are my indeterminate cherry tomatoes. These are the grape Tammy G's. As you guys can see, I got a little bit of basil over here, and somebody's been eating it. And I checked under the leaves the first day that I saw this, and I didn't see any insects. So I'm curious to know who are eating these giant holes in this. Some more nasturtium. Something took a bite out of that too. So this is the sun sugar, which is a yellow variety of cherry tomato. It's usually, people say that it's very, very sweet. So I'm interested, I'm excited, and I got these little cute things from Home Depot just to try to train it, because this is indeterminate. So this thing could get 10, 12 feet tall. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this. I did buy like some 6-foot plastic spikes that you can connect to one another. I will be making a video showing you some of my best garden finds that I use in my garden that I think will make you guys' lives easier. I'll be making that video soon. Over here is the Tammy G. That's the sun sugar. And then I put like a few nasturtiums. And then those are 2 pepper plants that I didn't know what to do, so I just stuck them right there. And then I may or may not move them. So that's all that's going on over there. Over here is the purple, I want to say this is the Cherokee purple tomato. I grew this from seed. I didn't grow that many things. A lot of stuff I grew from seed are late. So that's why a lot of the stuff that grew from seed are not big yet. This is a Brandywine. Let me show you guys the thing. That's it. That's the pink Brandywine. And I have some more basil down there. And if you guys notice this is a potato leaf variety. I never knew that there's such thing as potato leaf varieties, but this is potato leaf. A potato leaf variety that does it. And then here is the pepper that I got. And this one, it doesn't have anything on it yet, but I don't even see a flower on here, so I don't know what's going on. It should have already started to blossom, so I'm not sure what's going on with this, but when it does do something, I'll let you know. Then here, this is the carrot and the onion area. These were all started from seed. I'm going to thin them probably in about a month or so, because they're too close together. As you can see, they're not going to grow. I'm going to have to make sure that they're at least spaced out 1.5 inches to 2 inches, depending on the size. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to wait until they get somewhat big. Then I'm going to space them out, because I want to see whichever one is the strongest, so I can pull out the weakest one. So right now I can't really tell who's the strongest, so I'm just going to leave them in. And this took forever to sprout. I will say that onions take forever. Like, my onions been in here for like 18 days, and finally I have some little strings coming out the ground. Like, literally. I don't know how this is going to work. I always grew onions from the starter kit. So I have no idea how this is going to work from seeds. So I may or may not get any. But in the fall, I plan on going and seeking out some starter onion starters, so that I can do it the way that I know that I will be successful. But this is just for fun, to test it out. I did have nasturtium growing in the middle, and then I figured, okay, why would I grow something that's going to take up root space when these are all root vegetables? Over here are the sweet little finger carrots. If you guys don't know what they look like, go back to the video when I went over my seed haul, and that should show you guys all the seeds, all the seed packets in the picture, so you know exactly what they look like, because I don't have anything that's done yet to really show you. And then here, I don't know what is going on with this. Now this is starting to like really piss me off, quite frankly. I've been trying to grow the purple coneflower for 2 years now, because I want my own echinacea, and for some reason the echinacea has not grown. And isn't it supposed to be a flower? Like, I swear it's supposed to be a flower. I don't see any flower happening anytime soon. It does not look like a flower. It just looks like it's growing leaves. I have no idea what's going on with this. And then it looks kind of sick, so I'm probably going to go spray this stuff down with neem oil, because I do feel like the bugs are here. And the little white butterfly, she keeps flying through. She's been here for like months now, but I have no brassicas, and that's what she likes to lay her eggs on. So if you have brassicas, you probably want to cover them up, because usually I know in Maryland Zone 7, the little white butterfly comes to destroy all of your brassicas, which is basically your cabbages, your collards, your kales. What else? Something else I'm forgetting. But leafy greens like that, that's where she likes to destroy and lay her eggs. And then, yes, you will get the cabbage looper, and then you will be sorry. This is the spearmint. The spearmint, I'm gonna dry this. Like, I dry this for tea, or I use it, I put it like in bath water. Sometimes I'll put it in my bath just for like awakening. It awakes you. I don't know what this little bug is. You guys see that? But he doesn't look like he should be there. I've never seen, whenever you see a bug that you've never seen before, 9 times out of 10, the plant that is on is the plant that it came for, if you've never seen it. So 9 times out of 10 is going to be a pest, so you want to look into it. Because if it was a normal bug that comes around, you would have seen it already. So keep that in mind. This is my red beefsteak. I did not grow this one from seed. The one last year was grown from seed. This one was brought as a starter plant. And as you can see, there are a ton of flowers on here. But I don't know, when am I ever going to get a tomato? I have been trimming. I have been cutting the suckers off. But for some reason, I feel like by me getting about a month late, like getting plants out a month late, and then the season being weird with like the cold nights. We had like 40 something degree nights, then we went back to 90-degree day. It was just all weird. The plants are confused and don't know what to do. That's what I think. So I'm hoping that within the next week there should be something, like literally something. This right here, this is calendula. I've been trying to grow calendula since last year. The calendula last year didn't come out right. It just died. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, and I planted a lot of seeds, and as you can see, it's literally like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 5 calendula plants, and then they're like bunched up. I don't like that, but I'm hoping that they will grow tall, big, spread out like how my marigolds did, so that I won't have to add more seeds, because I'm not going to lie, the calendula took a minute to actually grow. This is another purple Cherokee tomato that I grew from seed, and by me getting a late start, as you can see, it's nowhere near this size. This is the size it really should be if I would have started it when I was supposed to, which was I should have started these tomatoes and stuff in the house around February, no later than March, so that it would be ready to come out around the end of April, beginning of May, and I did not do that. So this is what happens when you start late. Like, I'm way, way, way behind. Last year, if you guys look at my videos, I had a lot of stuff growing already. This is the lavender. I broke down and brought a new lavender plant and promised myself that I would take care of it. This is the new lavender plant. You guys already saw what I showed you about the other lavender plant. It was jacked up. This, oh, what type of flower is this? I do not know what this flower is. I had a thing in here. Maybe this is it. Okay. This right here is some more flowers. A lady, like last year, at Home Depot, she asked us like, oh, she was like, oh, I'm a realtor. I'm selling, you know, I rent homes. I'm looking for, like, if you guys need if you guys ever need a place to stay or ever looking to move, she gave me this card, and attached to her card were packages of seeds. And I was like, oh, these flowers look beautiful. I've never seen them before. So this year I decided to plant them because they're a long variety of flower. They take a really long time to grow. So last year when she gave them to me, I was already halfway through the season. So these flowers are called Pink's Double Imperial. And they're like all different color pinks and spiky looking flowers. They're really pretty. I can't wait to see them. And look, we have a bee. He is working. Hopefully he will hit up the tomatoes, and he's flying over the fence. So I don't know. Maybe he already hit it up, all the flowers that was over here. I don't know, because he left. This right here is the spearmint. Spearmint and peppermint, yes, they are different. I think that spearmint seems to be a little bit sweeter, a little bit milder. Peppermint is more potent. And I just got this little gate here, not to be there. It's just there because I planted, as you guys, I wanted to show you, I have started to plant some things in the ground. But I won't plant anything edible in the ground because I don't trust the ground. But I planted nasturtiums. And the goal is that this whole middle part should be covered in nasturtiums, which will act as like a perimeter and a barrier around my plants on the side. So that's what I plan on doing. This right here is Swiss chard. Literally, I know you guys can see this. This is how plants want to live. Like, look at this. I took all of this dirt out of here because I needed it for something else. And I just threw seeds of Swiss chard in here just because one day. Sometimes I just come out here and throw seeds when I see an empty spot and just wait to see what happens. And that's what I did. This is rainbow Swiss chard. But as you guys can see, whenever you buy a mixed packet of stuff, you very rarely get actual different colors. Like you guys can see. These are all red. I see some white ones. And then look, there's one yellow one all the way in the back. But this is literally just living off of this little tiny bit of dirt. And then there's some more over here. I'll probably take them out and replant them somewhere. Because I've been doing a lot of moving plants around. And it's actually working, which is shocking. And this is another potato leaf variety. It's the same thing, pink brandywine. In a way, I wish I didn't plant two of these because I've done research before. I did research after I brought these, which is not good. Don't ever do research after. Always do research first. But I did research after this, and come to find out, people complain about this tomato. They say that it doesn't give you hardly any tomatoes. That the tomatoes that come out are crappy, that they crack. But I already expected that because it's a brandywine, which is all heirloom varieties usually are kind of funky, make kind of funky looking fruit. Just because heirloom varieties have not been touched, they have not been, you know, I don't want to say bred. Is that actually a word that you can use for seeds? I don't know. Leave it in the comment. But they haven't actually been bred to like have disease resistance or bred to grow uniform fruit. Like a lot of the stuff that we buy at Home Depot, it is bred for us to have less maintenance. That's why a lot of the plants that you get from the store will grow a lot easier than if you try to grow some heirloom seeds from scratch. So just keep that in mind. Over here is my squash bed. I have some Dixie hybrid squash. That's one in each corner. I do not think that this container is big enough. I'm just letting you guys know. I planned on just putting them there and then weeding out the weak. And as you guys can see, the big one I got from the store, which was already more mature, is back there. These are the small ones that I started from seed under the grow lights. Back there, big bushes of marigold, another insect repellent. It also repels rodents and different things like that. But eventually, at least one of these are going to have to come out, because I don't think that is enough space. Look, he's back. The bee is back, and he's on the lavender, and I need him to go to the tomatoes. Like, seriously, is he going to go to the tomato or not? Like, let's see what this bee is doing. I want you guys to see him. He's working. He is working. Now he's going to fly over. Where is he going? Where'd he go? He's going from flower to flower, as you guys can see. This is what you want to see. You want to see them working. He's stealing the nectar out of my flowers, and he's going over. He just flew right in front. Now, where are you going? Back to the lavender. See, this is a pollinator. You want to have plants that bring in pollinators. And he's just hovering over. Hopefully he makes his way over to all the tomatoes, or maybe he won't go over there because all the flowers aren't open yet. But I'll watch him. Hopefully he will go and mess with the stuff I need him to mess with. Let me go get my basket. This video is kind of long because I know you guys have no idea of what I've been doing. I have not filmed a garden video in a while. Right here, these are all the other Cherokee purple tomatoes that I grew. As you can see, I have some small ones. This one is massively strong. I'm mad that I did not plant this one in a pot. But what I'm going to do is probably dig these out, separate these, because I have like a lot of these. And I don't know what to do with them. I'm thinking about just putting them up along the fence and just letting them just do whatever they want to do. If they die, they die. If they don't, they don't. If they give massive amounts of tomatoes, so be it, and I'll figure out what to do with it. Because I do not want to kill this plant. I don't like to kill plants that I grew from seed because I took time to grow this. And why did I grow it if I wasn't going to use it? So, I plan on doing this. If anybody wants a plant, I could maybe send you one. But I don't really know how well plants, how long they actually last inside of the mail. So I would have to look into that. But I would be more than happy if somebody wants like one or two or a few of these. I'd be more than happy to send it to you. You just got to pay for the shipping to your home. Right here, this was another bean plant, another bush blue lake green bean. So I put that in on each side because this was my whole green bean thing, but I took the green beans out and put them in the garden stock, what I will show you guys in a bit. And right here, these are just plants that I started and then realized, oh crap, I started them entirely too early. And now I just got wild plants that are leggy, they're falling over, they don't know what to do. These plants may or may not, they might all die. And that's really a waste, but they may all die. And as you guys can see, I have some algae growing on there. You can get rid of the algae just with a little bit of you can put a little bit of cinnamon powder, which is good for fungal, and it'll kill the fungal disease, but it really doesn't hurt your plant. Right here is more Sumter cucumbers that I grew. These are the ones that are really good for like slicing. I use them for both slicing and pickling. It doesn't make a difference to me because I just like cucumbers. And down here, guys, like you see, like these are some, I think that's cabbage. These are collards. Collards, cabbages, and curly kale. That's what all of these are. But I kind of started them. I should have started these in August. I was trying to get a head start. I got entirely too big of a head start, so I don't know what's going on with them. Like I told you guys, I need to just give them some water. And as you know, plants get a little bit of water, they come right back. And these are my little orange hat tomatoes. They got to go inside of the garden stock. So let's do that. And of course, more marigolds. Okay, I'm going to go over here to this garden bed. And as you guys can see, this has been here for a while. And I have got nothing off of it. It's beautiful. It's growing wonderful. I'm starting to get some... Looks like I'm getting a little bit of powdery mildew on here. And I did see some little spiders. So I feel like I might have some mites. But these are the yellow wax beans. As you guys can see, I got another lavender plant just in the corner. I just love lavender. So lavender, I said I want to put it all over my garden this year because it lasts for a long time. So even when all this stuff dies off, I will always still have some green. So I want to keep that. Back of here, I have my cucumbers. I'm not sure. I want to say I think they're all Sumter, or some of them may be National Pickling. Not sure because I didn't label them. So I'll find out later when they grow. I like to hit my plants, and when you hit the plants, see what flies out of there. And that'll let you know if you have a problem. So I just hit them like that. I don't really see much, so I know that I don't have white fly. And then you got to pull them back. And I want you guys to see I'm finally getting beans. You guys see close enough. Right down here, you see that bean? That's a bean. It's a lot of them in here. That's a baby bean. They're going to turn yellow when I know that they're ready, to let me know that they're ready. The flowers on this plant is absolutely beautiful. I want to show you guys the flower. Look how pretty that is. That's why I feel like these are such pretty plants that next time I do something like this, I might get the long planter like I just showed you guys that my green beans were in and plant them in there and then line them up along the whole fence. Because if they grow straight up, you will be able to, like, you know, tie them off to something so that you could actually expose the flowers. But I'm not sure. I don't think that these type of plants, I don't think that beans have to be pollinated. I'm not sure, but I think that these are self-pollinating, because I feel like how would a bee get all up in here to pollinate every single little baby flower? But I may be wrong. But I haven't seen much bees. Look, there goes some more. Some bigger ones down there. And this is like 8 or 9 plants. So I say within like a week, they'll be ready maybe to harvest. I'm trying to see if I can find you guys anything else. I'm going to come out and spray this with some neem oil tonight. And look, there's some more pretty little flowers. There go the little white butterfly you don't want in your yard. This is just like crazy. That's one thing. Beans grow crazy. I'm trying to find some more green beans to show you guys. There goes some more right here. And they're not going to be green. They're going to be bright yellow. And that's how I know when they're done. So they still have some time. But they've been in there a long, long, long time. I can say that. I threw those seeds out there a few months ago. I feel like maybe the reason why it's no... like it took so long to grow is because maybe I started them outside too early, so they didn't really start growing until the temperature was right. Because some plants, if you put them out early, they'll just sit there. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to, some of them won't die, but they'll just sit there. Or you can stunt the plant's growth so it will grow way slower because it was in shock when you set it out here. This is the green stalk. As you guys can see, there's some stuff in this green stalk that I have no business putting in here. I'm just going to tell you guys now, this is an experiment. Look at this powdery mildew. I don't know what that is, but it looks like powdery mildew, or it could be sun scald. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with powdery mildew. Because powdery mildew spreads, and this has powdery mildew. This looks like it has powdery mildew. This is the other squash. It looks like it has powdery mildew. So I'm going to say that it has powdery mildew. So I don't know what's going on. This is a jalapeno. Nothing is happening. I'm going to buy the spinner. I thought, oh, I don't need to invest in a spinner. But no, my plants on the backside, they are just not getting the type of sun that they need. Like right here is a green bell pepper. And look at it. It's just one lonely flower. These are all green bean plants. This whole thing. This is, these are the burgundy, these are like burgundy green beans. They're really dark, pretty burgundy. Like how that stem is down there. They're really pretty. These are getting way taller than I thought. And still I don't see any beans coming anytime soon. So, find out. This is something that I have no business planting in here as well. Is this. This right here, I believe, is a cherry tomato, but it's called like a million or something tomato, but it has a whole bunch of baby, like little tiny little tomatoes, and it literally will make a cascade of tomatoes. Why did I put it in here? I have no idea. I panicked and I didn't have any more space. So everything that I didn't have space for, instead of being scared that it was going to die, I just put it in here. So I have no idea what to do, but I feel like I'm definitely going to have to take this out. This definitely has to come out, or it's going to shade all the other plants and kill them off. And what's back here? That was the Royal Burgundy. Right here is the Rainbow Swiss chard I showed you guys where the hole was. This is where I put some of them at first. There are ants inside my container, which I do not like. I see something had chewed right here, but I don't see a caterpillar. And that's the thing. When you don't see the culprit, it's not a good thing. So I'm going to definitely have to spray these down with neem oil. Then down here, this is just something I wanted to try. This is broccoli Daicecio. And broccoli Daicecio is supposedly supposed to be like an easy, fast-growing broccoli that you actually, I want to say that you pick like spears instead of the whole entire head. I'm not sure. Or maybe smaller heads. It's one or the other. Right down there, I have some more rosemary, my favorite. I believe that that's another cucumber. Those are just some peppers that I'm going to thin out. Right now, you're thinning them out, you just want to pull them out. You don't want too many. I just left 4 in there. That's probably still too much. Down here are ground cherries. The ground cherry, guys, as you can see, is right here. And what happens is they form a little cherry in the inside. A little orange cherry. These are pineapple ground cherries. And once this husk turns brown, it'll fall to the ground, and it literally has its own wrapper like candy. You pick it up off the ground, you take the husk off, and you eat it. And I have a few of here on here. And these grow massive. So why is this in here again? I have no idea. I need to get some of these big plants a home because this is not going to work for them. And you guys are probably looking at my bins saying, well, your bins are empty. Yeah, but I don't want to overcrowd them because I know if I put the ground cherries in with my cherry tomatoes, they need the same type of nutrients, so they'd be fighting for it. So you want to try to be careful on what plants you plant with each other because they might actually not help each other grow. Right here is my jalapeno. I see a flower. Oh, finally, one jalapeno is growing right there. So let's say maybe a few weeks I'll have one. Right here is my cayenne pepper. There's absolutely nothing going on. Down here are my, this is a Ichiban eggplant. So that's really nice. Down here is the patio hybrid, which if you have never grown this, grow this. This is the first tomato that I ever grew. It's super prolific. It is a hybrid. It's disease resistance. It's just, it does everything. And it produced a lot of tomatoes. And actually, I used to think that it was a cherry tomato until I put it in a larger container. And the tomatoes literally went 3 times the size. Because the first time I grew them, they were like this big. Then when I got them into a big container, they literally grow this big. They're like a medium size or like a little smaller, but they're a nice sized tomato for what you need to do. About the same size as like a homestead. And then of course, guys, green beans. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and pick all the green beans off. I'm just using my nail to get all my green beans. And whatever I do for dinner needs to have all of this stuff in it. That's why sometimes you go outside, you look at your plants, and the garden sometimes actually picks what you're going to have for dinner based on what's in. Like, don't ever let them get this big. You see how big this is? This is too big. You see how you can see the beans in the inside? You don't want to let your plant get this big. Because when you leave beans on here like that, your plant thinks that it's done. And that there's nothing else. And then also, as you guys can see, it's hard for me to get it off the plant. And then there are some more right here. And to be honest, my green beans been ready to be picked. I want to say like a week ago. And I left them on here because I was having an event in my house. And I wanted my grandparents to see it and my family to see it before I picked everything. And then by me doing that, like these are small. So I'm just going to leave these back on. I shouldn't even have took this one. That's kind of pointless, but I took him by accident. See, but you don't want this. This is too big. Now, and I'm pretty sure I'll still eat this. But, like, these are pretty big green beans. And I'm just going through. And I do realize that I think I want more green bean plants because I noticed just how many beans. Don't underestimate how many plants you need. Last year, I did a few plants. I ended up with so many tomatoes that I barely knew anything to do with. Good thing I know how to can and dehydrate because that's what I did. But I didn't end up with like massive amounts of anything. Like even the greens cooked down a lot. My containers, you guys look in the old videos, they were very full. But once I cut down some and cooked them, it literally was enough for like 2 people. So you keep that in mind about how many people you're trying to feed. Is there any more in here? All right, he's little. I'll leave them on there to get bigger. And I want to say I got all the green beans off, which wasn't that many. I guess I'll take him too. He's little, but whatever. And I just like to make sure you want to always dig because look, they hide sometimes. This was hidden in the back. So I'm going to get that off. And then yes. So I'm definitely going to have to move. The ground cherries have to move. The Ichiban eggplant has to move. This million tomato has to move. And this giant squash has to move. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 plants that I have to find a new place to because they're not going to be able to do well in this container. They're just not. So I got to go purchase some. So basically, this is what I got. Not nowhere near the harvest in a few of my videos from last year, but I started off slow. So that's all that's going on in the garden. So make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe, and I will be back with another video.